Hey guys, and welcome back to another video, and I hope you are okay on that side of the screen. And today we are going to take a quick look at the Funsnap Capture 2. Quick, not very quick. I've been using it for a few weeks. I've been playing around with it. I did a few tests here on the office. I will leave a link down below, especially on the face tracking. And although the video is in Portuguese, you will understand how it works. Now, starting with a very quick unboxing experience, we'll find everything that I've got on my desk right over here. Starting with the gimbal, it comes in a really protected package. It also has this tripod included, which is very useful to take it out and about. But of course, we can connect on any tripod that we have available. It also has the GoPro accessories. If we want to mount a GoPro or a action camera, we can do it. A quick start guide, I don't know if I mentioned, and a charging cable. And of course, this pouch right over here. And basically, that is it inside this package. Now, in terms of the gimbal itself, in terms of image stabilization, better than explaining. So testing out the stabilization on the Funsnap, and what I can say is that I'm using the iPhone 11 Pro, which has 3 lenses, as you guys know. One of them is not stabilized, which is the ultra wide, and that's the one that I'm using. I'm not using the Funsnap app, I'm using the iPhone app, because the app that comes with this gimbal does not allow me to use the 3 lenses. So what I'm doing is I'm testing out this lens, which has no stabilization, to see if we have, or what kind of stabilization we have, so that we can use with phones without any stabilization at all. Which, in my opinion, at this moment, all the phones have stabilization, and we use gimbals for a lot of situations, stabilization not being one of them, in my opinion, of course, but that's what it is. One thing that I would like to show off is that, and by the way that you are watching, I'll be watching as well, is that if we can notice any difference or not from the gimbal, so that we can notice or not any difference in terms of stabilization. I would say that yes, because this lens, I don't know, we have done a few tests. It's a great image quality, especially in video on the main camera, on the wide. On the ultra wide, not that much, but the test of today is not about the cameras, but the stabilization itself. By the way, if there's too much wind, I'm really sorry. I'm using my lapel microphone, but it's a bit windy. It's a great weather. We are in February in Algarve, Alvor. I don't know if you know this place or not. To me, it's the best place in the world. Well, not Alvor in particular, but the whole Algarve, Portugal, which is where I live. Great place to live. Looking at the buttons, we'll find a very simplistic gimbal. We will have here the turn on and turn off button, the shoot button, which we can start recording a movie or take a picture, and we also have the directional button right here on the middle, and the zoom ring. Regarding this zoom ring, have in mind that although my phone has 3 cameras, it will only take advantage of one, so at some point it will start using digital zoom, which will degrade our image quality, and this, depending on the situation, might not be that desirable. Then finally, I also have a trigger right over here, which will enable the 2 modes that I've got. Now, the first mode is that if I handle the gimbal like this, it will just follow my mood, which is great to take a few smooth transitions and so on. And if I press the button, it will turn into a sporty mode, if I can say so, which will react a lot faster. Now, this is very useful if we are following someone running, for example, or a pet that it's running really fast, then this is great in that particular case. And these are the 2 ways of using the gimbal in terms of the physical buttons. In terms of battery, it will take roughly 8 to 12 hours to discharge it, and of course this will depend on our usage, the way that we use, more aggressive, less aggressive, and so on, and that's about it. Regarding the face tracking, I did record a video on my Portuguese channel, and although you don't understand Portuguese, I will leave a link down below, because you will see this gimbal in action here on the office. And I did a lot of situations where I actually think that it's a little bit better than my DJI Osmo 3, which is really nervous. This one here gives me a little bit more freedom to move my head around and so on, but link down below, you can check it out. But besides that, more or less, I don't have a ruler right over here, but I would say about 8 meters, 10 meters at most. I've done several tests recording in Portuguese. That's all I know. But at this moment it's tracking, and right now it's not tracking anymore. So phone moving, so it's tracking, but the limit is somewhere around here, because this is a real life situation, so I wouldn't say that people will get this to use it in office, well lit office. I would say 5 meters, 6 meters at least. After that, no guarantee. Great tool for a tracking device if you're looking for this kind of situation where we are near. Once we get a bit further. Regarding the app, it's a very simple app. Now, simple, which is great, but at the same time has everything that I need on an app such as this one. Now, on the left corner, I've got my choice of picture or video. Inside the picture, I've got a few modes. The single picture, which is boring, of course, but we have the panoramic picture, which is great. We can take a 180 degrees panoramic photo or a 320 panoramic photo, which can be really fun to take with friends and so on. And we also have a long exposure, then the button to switch camera from the front-facing camera and the back camera. On the right side we will have options, and I'm not going to bore you too much, but the important is we have face tracking or object tracking right over here, where we can select the object and track it. And we also have a few options in terms of camera, resolution, beauty filters, and so on and so forth, and also a few options in terms of the gimbal. What can I do with the different buttons? And then lastly, the button for the photo gallery. Now, one thing that I forgot to mention is that when you saw my test in terms of stabilization on the beach, I was using the ultra wide angle lens on my iPhone 11 Pro, and that means that it will capture this part of the gimbal. So just have that in mind. If you are planning to use with the normal lens of your phone, then great. If you are planning to use with the ultra wide angle, then the risk is that you will have the same situation as I am, that it will show this part. I forgot to mention that we can also shoot in portrait mode really easily, just portrait mode for Instagram and Facebook and so on and so forth. It's not a thing that I use too much, but it might be useful for some of you guys. Now, in conclusion, what I can say is that in terms of stabilization, nowadays, I believe that most phones are more than capable of stabilizing the image. But if you're looking for something to get a steady shot and do that smooth transition, and I'm thinking about real estate and things like that, then this is a great budget option, which I will leave a link down below. And I also really enjoyed the face tracking, which it's not perfect, we all know, but it works great at close range like I did here on the office. Too far, then it will lose like others that we have seen. And basically that is it. Hope that you guys enjoyed the video. And if you did, so don't forget that usual thumbs up. My name is Roberto Jorge, and as always, I'll see you guys on the next one.